My next guest, as I said, Anup Singh is a very special man. Those who have watched the podcast or those who have known him would know this, but for the benefit of viewers who are not familiar, let me give a brief introduction to Anup. Anup is the founder of India's only low carb platform, dlife.in. He's an engineer and a gold medalist from the distinguished IIT Roorkee. He was diagnosed with diabetes in 2011, but now lives a pill-free life, thanks to his own idea of a low-carb diet in the Indian context. In 2014, Anup founded D-Life. Anup is also the man who pioneered the idea of 100-gram carbs per day in a low-carb diet for Indians for diabetes remission. This idea changed the scene of diabetes in India from being a vegetarian initially to going grain-free and then becoming an ovo-vegetarian. Anup is now a full-blown carnivore too, and I'm very proud to say that I'm his coach too for the carnivore protocol. Let's meet the founder of D-Life and the co-organizer of India's first low-carb conference, Anup Singh. Welcome, Anup.
Thank you, Ira. Thank you, my coach.
So let's begin by asking you, how and when did you found D-Life?
See, my diabetic history is from February 2011. Now, from February 2011 till I think end of 2013, I was experimenting with the idea of low carb, finally settling it down with 100 grams per day. Now, once I was successful for more than 2 years, in fact. So I thought, to take this movement forward on a mass scale. Now, the only way to do it on a mass scale is have online presence. And the first step in that direction was to launch the community. So August 2014, we launched the community, and the basic idea was to spread the message of low carb done the Indian way, because Western way, it would not work. So that's it.
Okay. Tell us the unique features of D-Life. It is India's only low carb platform. It is India's only award-winning low carb platform. Would you like to tell us about the unique features we have on the D-Life platform?
See, as far as the features are concerned, I don't think, as of today, there would be any parallel community in the world having all the features under one roof. Now, to highlight few of them, over the years, I mean, it's about 9 years of curated data. So 1200 plus is the Indian keto, low carb, vegetarian, non-vegetarian, carnivore recipes posted by members. So that's one plus point, which I mean, I would say that it cannot be found anywhere in the world. Now, the second was that the amount of success stories that we have, not just of diabetes. Diabetes is just one of them. Diabetes, hypertension, GERD, right? And fatty liver, obesity. I mean, if you talk of any disease connected with metabolic disorder, there is a solution. And that solution is low carb for Indians done the Indian way, which is, I would say, the D-Life's way. Now, as far as the credibility goes, there are three distinguished speakers who would be speaking in this year's conference. Now, Dr. Anwin, Dr. Gary Fetke, and Professor Tim Noakes. They have sort of, I would say, reviewed the platform. Now I call it platform. Earlier, we used to call it, just a community. So if they have reviewed and have all positive comments to make, there's nothing more that I would like to say as far as the credibility of the platform goes. Yeah.
So, would you like to talk about the low carb nutrition coaches that are currently associated with the D-Life platform, about the course? Yeah, I was just going to come to the course, Anup, but let me also talk about, the other resources. You talked about the validation and the endorsement that we have from Professor Tim Noakes and other doyens who are also coming to speak at the conference. But tell us about the how we became the award-winning low carb platform, the only low carb platform in India, because that is what is our USP. That is what I would want you to talk about.
See, as far as the course is concerned, I think 2019 American Diabetes Association and other associations across the world, they started talking of low carb and very low carb as an option to be given to diabetics primarily. So that was a time when we thought, it's about time that we also have some course done the Indian way for Indians. And the major, I would say, the aim was to build an army of low carb coaches, because as Dilip and Shashi and everybody has said, the metabolic health crisis in India is unparalleled across the world. So right now, I think if I would be very conservative in terms of success stories, I would put the number at 3,000 plus. So, and as far as the team is concerned, yes, now I think 30 numbers have they have certified, and the course is getting popular across the world, 6 nations, including India. We have got enrollees from there, and it's picking up, no doubt. And the uniqueness of the course is that uh, post completion support is also there, which no other course in the world would ever provide. Because once you are certified, once you get your certificate, you're on your own. Now, as compared to them, we have got a dedicated community where all the enrollees and all those certified, whenever they want, they can, post their queries, get help. And as far as the content of the course is concerned, I would again say it is the most exhaustive one, and not just restricted to, few articles uploaded or few videos uploaded. It's a text-based learning management system, I would call it. And if I could spell out the statistics, then yes, about more than, I think, 210,000 of words, 800 plus references. I guess around 70 odd videos. And we are not going to, sit on that course once it is done. Time to time, we keep on upgrading the content also.
Hmm. I think you could talk a bit more about how we are able to, or how the certified low carb coaches are able to remit diseases on a low carb diet, because the course focuses on metabolic diseases remission through nutritional intervention. So, how is it that we are able to see so many success stories in our community? You just talked about 3,000 plus combined success stories of D Life coaches, and that's a huge number. So, what is it that we are doing differently?
What we are doing differently is, as you already mentioned in the intro, that our focus or our foundation is on 100 grams carbohydrate limitation per day. Now, that works in 80% of the cases, it works. But for cases which have, a long history, they have to come down to 50 grams, maybe 30 grams, or, shifting from low carb to keto. Now, in Western world, low carb and keto is used interchangeably. Out here, keto is just a small subdomain of low carb. Now, why does it work? I would say, if I draw a parallel with somebody having nut allergy, the doctors would say, please stop nuts. They would not say that you keep eating nuts and carry an EpiPen injection 24/7. So likewise, diabetes, in a layman terms, I would say you are allergic to carbohydrate beyond a certain limit. So to be successfully managing it, you have to limit your limit your carbohydrate to the threshold that we specify, which is 100 grams per day, split across 3 meals max.
Okay. I would like to take Shashi into the discussion right now. Shashi, can you unmute yourself? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shashi, we were just talking about the D Life diploma course. Would you like to talk a bit about how, being one of the pillars of D Life, you and Arun and Anup came up with the diploma course, and what was the idea behind it?
See, this is basically the idea of Anup Singh, of course. But then we were all there, we were all contributing something or the other. And I think I'll take a minute to, proudly show the certification, D-Life certification, which I got it back in 2020 when Anup had launched.
Wow.
So this is something which we hold with pride, and there was a need for such course in India, because the mainstream does not teach anything on low carb nutrition. Whereas if you really see, low carb nutrition is now endorsed by all the leading authorities of the world. For example, American Diabetes Association back in 2019 itself has included low carb as an option in MNT or medical nutrition treatment. Plus, even Diabetes Canada also recommends. And Obesity Medicine Association USA has also mentioned low carb as well as ketogenic diet specifically as one of the options for lowering weight or causing weight loss. Similarly, even the others like AHA has also mentioned that low carb is the best way to lower triglyceride as well as blood sugars. So we have the endorsement of all the leading medical associations also. It is just that we do not know that such an option is available. And then it becomes the duty of the pioneer of low carb nutrition in India to launch such a course. Hence, Anup took the step of creating a low carb nutrition course. At probably that time, even he may have not thought that, maybe we'll create an army of low carb nutritionists in India.
Correct.
So this was that time, and he went ahead and he has done that, and now he seems to have a different vision that we will have a very big army of it. And then a later statistics, if you see, they actually show the same, the metabolic statistics. Huge number of diabetes, pre-diabetes, obesity, insulin resistance, fatty liver, and everything. So, and this is not taught in mainstream dietitians courses. So we require a low carb nutrition course, and that's where we are.
Also would like Arun's view on the D-Life diploma course, because you're also one of the founders, one of the pillars of D-Life, and you've been associated since a long time with the growth and everything of D-Life. Tell us a bit about what is the relevance of this course, Arun. How is it changing the scene of metabolic syndromes remission in India? You are on mute, I think. You're on mute.
Yeah. Actually D-Life low carb nutrition course, because I belongs to the pharma background, so I know pharmacology and then anatomy, physiology, endocrinology, everything. But in this course, they have covered almost every aspect of this metabolic syndrome, metabolic health. So if you see, right from the origin of human to the see the human's diet. Earlier, what was the diet? Now, what is the diet? And now, what is the going to be? So these all things we covered. Second thing, which is very good thing for this low carb nutrition course, that is the special feature you can see that it is loaded with the relevant videos of leading authorities of world over. So if you are reading any chapter of this course, you will find one or two videos are there, so that people can understand better. And this is the one special feature of this course. Second thing, this course is the concentrated on the low carb nutrition. So everything is taught how low carb will treat you, how low carb will be get rid of all this metabolic syndrome. So that is the beauty of this course. And third, which is the final, is that no other course in India, dietitian or nutrition course, is offering low carb. This is the only low carb nutrition course of this stature. So that is the D-Life nutrition low carb course is there. I really appreciate. I have gone through all these chapters and all the video and everything. I really appreciate it is very nicely presented in the course, each and every chapter. So that's what, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Arun. I think you can mute your mic now.
Yeah.
Coming back to you, I understand you were recently covered by a lot of international media that also talked about D-Life as a platform, as a course. Would you like to say a bit more about the course itself, if you're looking at doing something else, or the course that you have launched, and how people are now coming to you from various countries. I'm aware of the numbers that are coming to you now. Talk a bit about that, please.
Yeah, Ira, before I go into the course part, I would like to say, we are the biggest, the largest, and award-winning platform, low carb platform, existing as on date in India. There's nobody else, and we are successfully having cases of all metabolic issues related disorders being remitted. I would not say cured, because cured is a very dicey word. Remission is the perfect word. And as far as the course content goes, yes, we keep on upgrading it based on the feedback or inputs that we take from the enrollees or those who have completed the course from time to time. And as you know, new research comes up, we include that in that course, so that it doesn't appear that it is something like an opinion being expressed, but it is a science which is being taught.
Also talk about the support that you give to your graduates. I am aware that a lot of podcasts are being done which are uploaded on YouTube, and they're
Yeah,
very
if we talk of podcast, basically, anybody who has completed the course, now we give them exposure through podcast of their case studies, case success stories that they have handled. That is one way. And the support post completion, we have a dedicated private WhatsApp group where small queries are addressed to. And if it gets into a long, I would say a long thread of interaction, then there is a community, and that community is now around 9.5 years old, and it's all I would say a curated data where no spammers or anybody can join. So that way, the community itself is a big library of reference, like how cases have been handled. What do every, I mean, see, every individual practitioner would have a way of approaching a problem, right? So in a particular thread, there are 10 or 15 people addressing the issue. So a new entrant or a new enrollee can always refer to that thread to see how people really participate or how they handle the situation in a real world scenario. Because learning is one part, then putting it to practice to be successful is the real test.
Okay, can I have all three of the founders and the pillars of Tea Life into one frame, and kindly unmute yourself, Shashi and Arun? And can we have the final word on the relevance of the Metabolic Health Conference that's being organized in India? And as we kick off the session just now, I'm sure the audiences are looking at, seeing and watching great sessions ahead across 3 days. So, any last words, Anup, Shashi, and Arun? I'll begin with Arun, maybe.
Yeah, this once again I tell all the people who are watching us that they should go through entire conference and they will get lot of information without reading any study or any books, because all these speakers are the world's renowned speakers of the low carb field. So they will get benefited of that. They will be get benefited for their metabolic syndromes, metabolic unhealthy syndromes. So they should watch this, and if they want to have any particular program, like suppose somebody is interested with the thyroid problem, somebody is interested with the diabetes problem, low carb problem, they can watch individually also. But I request to all the people who are watching this, they should go through this. This is very exhaustive conference. They will get a lot of information regarding this. Thank you, Ira.
Thank you, Arun. Anup, could you tell us in a few words as a parting message of this grand event that we are hosting and the first session that we are now going to close? I'll have the last word from Shashi, but before that, maybe you can probably add your bit.
See, this is a dream come true. As Shashi said in the opening session, it was a dream that we dreamt of in 2017. It took us 6 long years to reach here. And this is not going to be the first and last. There will be many more coming up for sure in different formats. And I would like to say that, this is a dream come true. And as Shashi said in the opening session, it was a dream that we dreamt of in 2017. It took us 6 long years to reach here. And this is not going to be the first and last. There will be many more coming up for sure in different formats. So stay tuned. And as Arun said, this session, I mean, this conference is India's first and India's largest. Now we all of us, take pride in being India's first in anything that we have been doing, starting from community to being covered in media. I mean, we've been covered in media individually, collectively since I think 2014. The journey of, getting coverage in media started in 2014. Now, the most prestigious one was, of course, Icons of India Award. That was conferred by the prestigious Outlook Group. And yes, these days 3 days are going to be very, very hectic for all of us, but we are prepared because, as Shashi said, we wanted to give something free to India so that they know that there is a solution existing. All it needs is your willingness to participate. So I would say go ahead and watch each and every session. In case you miss because of any, preoccupation or something, then recorded versions will also be uploaded. Thank you.
Thank you. Coming back to Shashi and the man who organized it, the co-organizer along with Anup. Shashi, I think you can just, probably in detail, probably tell our viewers what they can expect in the coming 3 days. What all topics are we going to be covering? Everything about the low carb conference.
Yeah, thank you, Ira. So, see, this is I will call this as the foundational event. We are going to just touch up upon low carb in general. It is a general one. It is not very specific. I know that when we organized that, there were a lot of requests to get a lot of specifics in. But then we thought that let us touch up generally. So it's going to be overall on the low carb front, on the ketogenic front, as well as on the carnivore front also. It's going to be very, very interesting. So of late, in India also there are a lot of carnivores. Like I have 3 carnivores in my screen itself. So so we are supporting all form of low carbohydrate diet, and that's what they are going to come. Medical doctors are going to come and speak about. First, they will speak about how they came across low carb, and they have their own personal journey. They have learned low carb either for personal reason, or they have learned low carb from their patients. You will find some of the top speakers coming and telling us that they learned about low carb from their patients. They were so humble enough to learn from them, adopt it, and really change the world. One of them is, coming on top of my mind is Dr. Anwin. His session is, you are going to host this, is going to be so interesting that he has learned it from the patient, and he has really created a revolution. And we are going to see all of this. You are going to see the same success in ketogenic diet, in carnivore diet, in low carb diet, and in various other indications. What is the relevance of low carb in orthopedic segment? What is how relevant it is in cardiology segment? How much is it relevant in endocrinology segment? How much is it in GP segment? In gynecology segment? It's very, very interesting to see that low carb has touched everything and across.
Yeah.
So it's going to be quite interesting. At this point of time, let me tell you that there's one point which I wanted to tell earlier was when you said that it is free. Yeah, it is. This event is free for everyone. But while it is funded internally, and it is funded by the entire community of D-Life. Each one of us have contributed something so that this event goes live and goes free. So that's how it is. And then at the same time, I'm so touched by the lot of other international communities who have really done something to have an exposure of this. Like, for example, we were hosted in a podcast first by Dr. Don Copra from Philippines. So he has invited me and Anup for an interview on low carb to be, and that was really shown in his YouTube channel so that the world knows that such a conference is going to be organized. Then we are invited by Doug from Low Carb USA. So Doug and Pam, thank you. They have made a special video with me and Anup again to tell the international community that such and such show is being organized in India. And then Metabolic Health Day initiative by Nasha Winter. So they also, in their Metabolic Health Day .life website, They have put the video where three of us have talked, you, me, and Anup Singh. We three have talked there. Plus also the other communities like we have Dr. Andrea Salcido. So she has also made one video showing that we are going to launch and about her session. My friend Gina Robert, she has also made a small video during the coaching session. She has put that. And yeah, Dr. Roshni Sanghani, so she has been actively campaigning about low carb conference in social media. Thank you very much. And also Dr. Kishle. So, and there are many other Nutrition Network, not to forget. Yes, the Nutrition Network again has been a big support, and we are greatly proudly endorsing the ketogenic textbook, on which we are going to now talk about in 2 sessions when Professor Noakes and Jane Bullen is going to come. So I think, and finally, I think yesterday we have seen that social media company, online media company, South First. So they have also taken our interview, me and Anups, and they have shown it in their YouTube, plus the print media also, online print media. I think there's a lot of love which has shown to the first ever event, and we are very touched. And I think it's going to be really a historic event, and we are going to enjoy this entire 3 days. So it's going to be very hectic, but we are going to enjoy it. And you are
And I'm
going
sure,
to,
and yeah. Shashi, I was just going to make a point that the entire USP of this event is that these are mainstream doctors who are going to be talking about low carb nutritional intervention for remission of the metabolic disorders. I think this grasps a lot of eyeballs and a lot of attention from people that there is an alternative way, as you said, to find remission from any metabolic syndrome that you are suffering from. So I think this is going to be the uniqueness of this conference, and giving a different view of how we can look at remission besides the pill.
I think it's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Remission. I always say that in social media, everything is an option. If you want, you can get off pill. So I was in remission for almost 8 years now, and Arun Kumar here, history of 2 decades of diabetes. So I think it's a very good option, and people should know that remission of diabetes is possible, remission of elevated blood pressure is possible, and a lot of other mental condition, neurological condition. I also have a success with a bipolar condition also, healing them. So it's really is something which is, I will say that the science of ketogenic diet or low carb diet in mental illness and neurological illness is an upcoming science, is an emerging science. There are a lot of studies which are going on, and people who are updated with science will know that we are living in a very excited times where we know that a lot of metabolic conditions can be treated with low carb, and there are studies backing them up. See, the low carb diet, let me tell you, is the most studied diet. It is the most, I can assure you this. And it is not my word. These are from the top leaders in this segment who have been. This is the most studied. Still, people will keep asking for more study. It's surprising. There are hundreds and thousands of studies for this. So I think now people will know that there's an option available for them.
I think for such the strong, alternative interventions and cures, or not cures, but maybe remission, I think people still have a lot of myths, and there is a lot of misinformation around scientific methods also, like you said, low carb or ketogenic and stuff like that. I'm sure people will find their answers in the sessions that we are going to be holding in the next 3 days, because every session, as I said, is equal to reading many, many books. So please don't miss these sessions. Please attend these sessions and gain as much as possible from the best low carb and metabolic health space experts in the world. Any last words?
Yeah, I think you have touched upon very relevant point. That is the myth. Okay, what are the myth? The myth is low carb diet is dangerous. Ketogenic diet is dangerous. Saturated fat like ghee and butter is dangerous. Protein is dangerous, surprising. Protein damages kidney. Protein increases uric acid. Protein causes gout. We are the most protein malnourished people community, one of the communities on earth. and still we are so much afraid. So we will be bursting all these myths gradually over all the sessions. That, and yeah, one more thing is, red meat is bad. It is bad for health. Whereas we are actually seeing that terrible conditions like severe, like you yourself have faced severe autoimmune nephropathy, membranous nephropathy, and you have reversed it with low carb, with a carnivore diet, specifically high in red meat. So a lot of these myths needs to be dispelled, and we will do that for India in this program. See, all these things are available, but we have this session. We will try to Indianize it as much as possible, or try to speak on the Indian context, how these can be applicable and how these are useful for India. So that is our objective, and we are going to interact with them. We are going to interact with the foreign speakers, and we will understand the basics of low carb. And even there are Indian speakers also, and we will try to understand how to really Indianize this. So Indianization of everything is possible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
we will have
actually,
an enjoyable
yeah, as
3-day,
you rightly
12-hour session.
misinformation on protein, whereas I myself am a case where my membranous nephropathy and autoimmune kidney was reversed on a carnivore diet. So my myth was broken by my own experience, which I just chanced upon accidentally. But thankfully, I found remission in red meat, in low carb, in carnivore. That goes against the mainstream messaging, actually, that protein is bad for kidneys. In fact, my kidneys were bad at that point of time, and I was able to remit that disease with high protein and with meat. So I think this was a wonderful discussion to kickstart the session with. And I thank Anup and Shashi and Arun, all three of them, for being here.
Thank you.
Anything you would like to say, Anup, before we just close our very first session?
Yeah, on myth, one of the strongest myth is it is unsustainable, right?
Mm,
Between three of us sitting here, we have sustained it for more than 30 years.
mm,
What else does world need? Or what else any naysayer need to be convinced? That's all.
yeah. So I think we'll just move on to our next session, which is going to be
Yeah.
another exciting session with Shashi and Anup and Dr. Roshni, who would be joining you soon. Thank you, all three of you, for being here with me. And let's begin the conference on a very positive note. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we can take in Dr. Roshni.